Hey guys, welcome back to another Skate news video, and as promised we got the patch notes today for the update that we will see tomorrow with the start of season 4. So we got the full patch notes right here. It's update 31.1 and this will be released tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. and this is also when maintenance begins before season 4 actually starts. They're also writing that originally this patch was going to be released as 31. Well, I think it's 31.0 that it was originally supposed to be, and now it's released as 31.1 because they were able to add a few more bug fixes in to address some more issues. So we're gonna have a look at what will be fixed, what improvements we can expect to see. We will not go over the new content or anything. I went over all of this in a separate video already, so if you haven't seen this one yet, be sure to check it out. It's in the info box right now, because this one is really only for the patch notes. So what we can expect to see when it comes to new features. First of all, we will get a new gameplay density setting. This means that you can control the amount of other skaters, pedestrians and vehicles that are rendered and that are simulated around you. Then gameplay wise, we will get finger flips. This is the new trick that we're getting with season 4. And here they're writing that we can expect to see 30 finger flip trick variations. I already showed you the list of them in the former video, and those will get added to Skatepedia as well, of course, so we can check which input we need for which finger flip. What we will also get is a new setting for the camera follow behavior that is called loose. And when you have set this setting to loose, then the camera will follow your skater's head when you are turning. And when it's set to tight, which is basically the setting that we have right now, then the camera follows the skater how your body is turning or how the skater is turning, which results in much tighter turns of the camera. But I will go over this again in a separate video once this was released and once I have checked it out. And another new feature that we can expect to see in season 4 is new voice lines for pedestrians. So they have recorded over 5,000 voice lines with voice actors, which results in pedestrians talking on their phones, reacting to your actions, to when you slam or to when you land a trick, for example, even in the stadium, which is a new area in season 4. And they will also become annoyed when you bump into their vehicles or when you block their way. Moving on, we have features that we already had before, but that will be updated with this update. So the replay editor will get a new feature where you can cancel out early when exporting a replay. They have also rearranged the graphical settings to bring more structure and clarity into those settings. They have again changed the GPU and CPU scoring, which means that the game basically analyzes your GPU and CPU and then scores your system within a global graphics quality tier. And then based on this tier, you will get a recommendation, or it will set the graphic settings for you that work best for your system. But after the update, this could also mean that some players move up or down in visual quality in favor of a better performance. We will also get a new assist setting that is called Grind Trick Autocorrect. This can be turned off in the settings. It is turned on by default for streamlined and classic controls, probably not for experienced, but again, it's one of those that I will go over in a separate video once the update went live. And then we also have some more improvements when it comes to the gameplay, which I think is probably most interesting. So first of all, riding and steering of your skater has gotten some improvements. Here the turning was improved to give a better feel to skating and bring more flow to the steering. Here the developers also recommend to test this new turning and steering setting with a new loose camera setting that I mentioned before, because those two were made to complement each other. Then there is a new session marker for lip mount. So now if you save a session marker while you are mounted to a lip, then when you return to your marker, it will also return to the lip mount position and you can then directly drop in from being mounted. They've also updated the scoring for the different ollie variations, including boned ollies, 1-foots and frontside, backside 180s. They have also tweaked the unstock behavior or the unstock detection, because they're writing that the unstock detection was a little bit too sensitive before and now it's a little less sensitive, which should help players to recover naturally after a slam and not getting unstuck and set back to their former position all the time. They have also cleaned up the animations for straight fakie landings, for fakie coffins, and for 1 foot ollie animations, so they look more refreshed and feel better. And for throwdowns, they have done quite some tweaks here. So first of all, the default boundary size was increased. Then while you are increasing or decreasing the size of the boundary, the camera will zoom in and out as well to make the actual size visible. They also added the option to automatically start the throwdown if more than 2 players are in the queue. And when you are creating a throwdown, the settings will default to whatever your last settings were for your last throwdown. So if you prefer the same settings for your throwdowns all the time, then you will have them by default all the time. Then for tasks, we will see a new display in the main menu where you can see your daily tasks and how your progress is on them. And you can pin up to 3 tasks in the main menu now. And lastly, what they have also improved are challenges. So here they streamlined the map with smaller icons when challenges are completed, and they will only get this bigger icon that they have right now when you hover over them. And then we also got some bug fixes, of course, so it's not too much, because at the end we already have a bit of a longer list of known issues already, but we're gonna go over them in a second. So first of all, the bugs that are fixed in Season 4. We get several stability fixes as usual. They fixed various quality issues affecting some cosmetics and character customization. They fixed an issue where some trophies or achievements were not registering progress if you were trying to do them on the Isle of Grom. They fixed an issue where product boxes were duplicated and an insufficient funds error displayed when trying to make the purchase. They fixed an issue where progress for the Without Footy It's Fiction trophy would get stuck even though you have met the requirements for it. They also fixed the issue where players would rarely get stuck in the loading screen when you were fast traveling. And they fixed an issue where players in a party were unable to start a challenge after cancelling a fast travel queue. They fixed the issue where reverts would sometimes cause the skater to look into the wrong direction. Also an issue where automatic reverts would sometimes over-rotate beyond 180 degrees. They fixed cases where grinds would sometimes fail to log in. They fixed an issue where roll-ins would activate unintentionally. Also an issue where a roll-in would take priority over grinding on a lip. They fixed an issue where drop-ins would sometimes cause the back truck to get stuck, which caused a slam. They've also fixed an issue with input responsiveness when performing a late flip. They fixed an issue where your skater's animation would stutter or bail when landing a hippie jump while you were in the air. And they fixed an issue where your skater would lose momentum during a hippie jump if you talk into a ball. Plus, there were several issues with camera stability and behavior that were also fixed. So these were all the fixes. Like I said, quite a lot of them were on the known issues list, so I'm happy to see that this stuff got fixed. Nonetheless, you can see right here, we already got a, well, fairly long list of new known issues for Season 4 that will hopefully get fixed in the next update. So the issues that we have to expect after the update tomorrow are that pretty rarely a black screen can appear when starting a challenge or throwdown on PS4 or Xbox One. Then pinned tasks do not remain pinned when the game reconnects after inactivity. So that's the new feature that we got with the pinned tasks, which is already bugged, unfortunately. Then the news button fails to redirect to the appropriate offer. Another bug is that changing the graphics preset doesn't update the settings shown at the bottom of the graphics screen as it should. hut. Then the first step of the Help Wanted mission, Coping Inspector, gets crossed out and doesn't progress when arriving at the target area. Here also a workaround for this is rebooting the game, but this will then result in the mission progressing to the next step. But well, at least it progresses. What's also an issue is that the option to select between 16:9 centered hut and full width and height UI is present but non-functional while in windowed mode. If a player has any kind of mission outside of scavenger ones tracked, once they log in and track the scavenger hunt missions, the mission cannot be progressed. Finger flips are missing the switch and fakie tags in chapter 1. So by chapter 1, I think it's probably the new mission that we can expect to see that will introduce us to the finger flips. Then after turning the world traffic setting off and on, some of the cars will become invisible but can still interact with other objects and skaters. Another issue is that after finishing a co-op challenge, party members' names will swap with random ones during the celebration screen. Also, players cannot change who they spectate after using RT or R2 or LTL2 on controller. Then there are also memory leak crashes that are related to the UI, probably for all of us, so no specific platform here. They've also got an issue where the game sometimes crashes when accessing the tattoos category of the store. Sometimes the UI elements break after a short period of playing, and very often players can't climb the scaffolding of the M-Corp tower. So there are quite a few issues that I could imagine are very, very annoying and hopefully being fixed very soon. Anyways, these are the patch notes for tomorrow's update. Something a bit more personal at the end of this video. I know I said I'm thinking about streaming when season 4 drops tomorrow, and I would love to do it, but there's some stuff going on in the family. My grandma is in the ICU right now, and yeah, I'm visiting her every day and trying to be on her side. So I don't think that the stream is gonna happen tomorrow because I will probably be too exhausted to do it. But I will keep you updated during the week as usual with the usual video content. And yeah, we're just gonna do the stream at another time. But yeah, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye bye!